and welcome to the after show afterthoughts here with Vicki Carter. We have finished our hour radio program and we are both now relaxed, taking a deep breath and glad that it's that we got through all of that. That was really good, Vicki. I mean, really, really, I really enjoyed that. There were the a couple of the stories that you were telling. Some of them I'd heard some of it before, but not all of it. So it was really interesting. And of course, the whole journey of ragtime now. I really wish someone would do a wonderful ragtime show as an homage, not a criticism, but an homage to ragtime and the beauty of that music. Really. It's not easy music, though. It's not easy music at all.
No, it's not. And I did some research today because you and I had talked about ragtime and tempo.
Yes.
It did come from the marches,
Mhm.
and many times the composers would make a note on the printed music that said, do not play this too fast.
Mhm. Mhm.
During the time in the early 1900s when ragtime was being composed and performed a lot, there wasn't a lot of recording. But at that time, unlike now, the um, the performance, the musical performance, had to be a certain length of time because you could only get X number of minutes on those wax cylinders. And
Oh.
even when you and I um, experienced cassette tapes,
Mhm.
you know, they were 90-minute tapes or 60-minute tapes. So the performers were really limited to the length of their performances.
Right.
Also, in the article that I read on tempo about don't play it too fast, many times the writer would refer to a particular pianist of today, not those
Oh,
original
okay.
of
Okay.
today, and they would
Yes.
say, you know, he or she plays it fast because he or she can.
Yeah.
You know, so they just fly, fly, fly. But
Yeah.
I think sometimes if you do things too fast, you lose the nuance of what the composer. It just becomes. Listen to me, how fast I can play this.
Yes, I agree.
You know.
It's there's an intricacy. Tonight talking, I kept on not being able to put my tongue through the changes. The intricacy of that music, having done those two musicals, and some other music in ragtime when I was on the road with voices, it's really a different kind of music, and it takes a a different thought process to sing through it as well as to play it. One of the things that I really respect about it is that it's the waltzes are really beautiful. I mean, there are some waltzes,
Yes.
you know, that people don't realize about it. But I think that that was probably my chosen time, because every time I go to think about shows that I've done, a lot of them are period pieces, and I really do understand the period. And I try to understand the people and placing myself there without judgment, as to what they had to go through as performers and as people of color in that era of time. And it was a difficult time. And they, despite all of those difficulties, they still strove through and did some excellent work. So, but also the other things, as I said, I wanted to get to the other things that went on to do beyond the job description that really were influenced by music. That whole thing with the sorority, that blew me away, that you thought about it, being able to create something so people who were not, trained singers, though, would be interested in doing it, and that brought more population back to it.
Yes.
That was it, I think it's very important that we trace what the arts, and in your particular case music, really how it really, I think, influenced a lot of the things that you would do when you would get involved, especially when you would say, and I heard myself saying yes. I do that sometimes, and you get excited about a, a project and you go, yes, yeah, that would be good. This particular project is one of them. When people would say, "Oh, well, Lynnie, you should do your radio show," and I'd go, "Yes." And then, as we found out today, there are a lot of technical difficulties that you can have that you have to deal with this, and you have to work around them, and and get everything done, and come on in at the same time. It's very interesting. At the top of the show, you were not muted, and so that's why I said, "Well, hello, Vicki," and then I looked, and the studio had muted you again. So I have to always look at the board to make sure who it mutes and who. Sometimes I don't have control of it. So learning all of that, look what music and look at the arts has gotten me. It's gotten me to be a bit of a geek.
Well, I think we have to, those of us of a certain age, have to experience and embrace being a geek because
Yeah.
otherwise we're going to be left behind. So, I mean, I don't really know a lot about computers, but sometimes I'll be on the phone with a friend who knows a lot less. And Ron will come in and he will say, I can't believe I'm listening to my wife coach somebody else through how to use their computer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, in
no.
my household, I am the computer person. Carl is the numbers person, but I'm the computer person. So anything that happens on his computer phone, I hear Lynnie.
Well, now that Logan's here, Ron's off the hook because
I
now it's
see.
Logan.
Yes, it is one of those things, but it's been really great. I mean, what's been great about it is that we had said that we wanted to do something, and we did do something. Remember, we did a
I
concert.
know.
you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we did a concert together, which we didn't talk about here, the Lyric Room here in Pennsylvania. You came in, you played, and then I, did the cabaret movement, and now we've done this. But I still think that there are other things for us to do because we do have a shared experience in a very historical, I think, period of time. I don't think musicals like UB are ever going to be done again like that. I just get that feeling. I don't know why, you know.
You mean like musical reviews?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
musical reviews.
Like the jukebox
Yeah, yeah,
musicals.
yeah. The jukebox musicals though are different than the musical reviews. Um, uh, the Amos Behavens and the Ubies and some of the sophisticated ladies, all of those things. There were a certain era, and there was, I think, a certain genteelness about the approach of them. I have nothing bad to say about the jukebox shows. They're wonderful. They bring the music back. Everybody is enjoying them. But the homage to the period isn't there. It's really let us play the music again for you.
Yes.
I think what I think we accomplished and what those other shows accomplished was they brought the period to you also, you know, and it's a gentle difference, but I don't think that gentle difference will happen a lot unless people really pay attention to it and bring that back.
I think I agree with you. There is, uh, there are people who are really doing a lot of ragtime.
Mm-hmm.
There are ragtime festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the ragtime is going to stay,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe. But I think you're right about if you're talking
Yeah,
about a
the approach
standard
of it.
Broadway musical.
Yeah, the
Like,
approach of it, is I think it's just gonna. I think it was just done. It was done with love. I mean, we birthed something, and it expanded, but you could still see the love all the way through it, the thread of it that happened with the people that came in, the care that we took, um, all the way through. That it's not that it's not done with care, but I think we had a dedication to really show that these people were people of principle and had different kinds of struggles. My favorite song in Yubi, to tell you the truth, the lyric is Weary. Yubi Blake, when they wrote that song, with that song, weary of the trials and tribulations. You and Terry, and both Terry and Ethel did a beautiful job of it. But to think about taking that song out of now, out of context of the show, and really just singing the lyrics or saying the lyrics of what he must have felt when he composed that one piece. We really didn't go into that whole dramatic moment of it. It was more musically successful, but the composing of those lyrics and what it meant in that time period, it's worth examining, I believe.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We could have all been singing that the past year or so.
Yes.
It could have been
I mean, it's
song.
it's very apropos right now, it's to think that there are songs there that we really can still think about now. And that show was 100 years old this month, hitting Broadway.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Some of the songs that we got from Shuffle Along in that, and some of his music. Well, I'm not going to hold you anymore. You have been absolutely a wonderful guest. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for all your
Thank you.
information. Thank you for your time. Thank Ron and Logan for sharing you with me for this
Well,
time.
certainly, and thank you for the invite.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It really was, doing reliving some of those moments, those memories, with people who are here, with people who have gone. It just made me go over a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
And it's it's joyous and sad at the same time.
We will have to find another adventure for the two of us.
I think so. That'll be good. Yes,
We'll
yes. All right, we'll see.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Good
You're welcome.
night.
Good night now.